10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. Much better this go around.
Yeah, a little bit better connection.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties for the first attempt at recording.
Yeah.
Mike was stuck in AOL 56K days.
That was a thing.
But we got this. We are locked in now, and we are ready to go.
I will say this: that's one of the few times, other than I think you lost power one time.
Power, yeah.
And I think I maybe lost internet or power one time. But considering we've been doing this literally 2 years, it's pretty good considering we haven't had that many issues. Like all in all, it's issues like technical issues have been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
But sure. So I'm gonna start it. I asked you a question when we first started recording. I'm retracting that question for now. That question will come back in. But let's talk about the NXL Lone Star Open.
Okay.
Because I think there was a little bit of some upsets.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you surprised with who won? You know who won, right?
Yeah, no, I watched all of it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think if I'm really surprised. Yeah, I kind of am, but I kind of expected a toss-up only for the reason that it being a blind layout, that there's no one team that can get locked in and just do better. It's a random layout for a random it'll just do better for certain teams, what I mean? Yep. And it did. That team just clicked on that layout and it worked out great for them. The team we're talking about is Damage, obviously, for most who didn't see it, but Impact is always up there. They're a really good team. They're always in the top 3, top 4 every single event. So that's just there. Dynasty did not do well. I felt like they played fine, but they had so many penalties. That's ultimately killed them. I mean, we know firsthand you cannot win an event if you're getting a penalty every single point. Their biggest things typically that keep them in events is A, they stay alive off the break, and B, their shooting is really good on the break, and they play very clean. Those 3 things are the exact opposite of this event. Yep. They lost people on the break a lot. Marcelo, which is very rare, he dies. They lost people on the break almost every point. They weren't getting their kills on the break, which is very rare, and they had a lot of penalties. Every single match they had penalties, all of them. Now on the second day, they did a lot better than they did the first day. They figured it out, but the first day was just horrendous with the amount of penalties and everything else. Shouldn't have been going that way. I hate X Factor personally, so it's good not to see them make it. I don't think they made it through, right? They didn't make it.
No, they did not. They were top 8.
Yeah, they were 9, right? Dynasty was
10. Yes, I'm sorry. They were 9. I apologize. I looked at Aftermath. I just saw San, and San Diego Aftermath was 8. And X Factor was 9.
Yeah, good. They can lose all of them, bro. I care. But I think Dynasty was 10 and they were 9. So that was tough breaks for both of those guys. But this is a minor, so it really doesn't count. You can use the proteins have to play 1 minor. Yep. So I'm sure they'll play another minor to get their points back up, to get a win. So that's kind of good.
Now, what do you think about the ML Kings?
I'll be honest. I watched so much of the pro footage and never seen one fucking game by them.
Really? Okay. I watched them and I watched the Hurricanes play two matches.
I watched some of the Hurricanes. I watched randomly. This wasn't planned. I felt like every single Dynasty match because they were like late in the day for some reason.
Yeah.
And I watched all of the infamous ones. I guess that's my time watching them because I watched the same 16s play the entire time. I watched Aftermath play a lot. I watched all the Damage ones. It's funny that I happen to see all those, but those are the time frame they played like both days. I've seen all of them. So it was good. I think it was a pretty good event. I liked the layout a lot. It was a really cool design. A lot of guys shit on it, and then I thought it was really cool, and I ended up playing like really cool.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. Do you think that could be done in lower leagues? Like, I'm going to say a mirrored flipped, I guess is how you would say that layout was. Like that would, to me, make the most sense. So I'm sure everyone here, like obviously you're used to paintball where you have a full Dorito side and a full snake side. I'm sure everyone saw the layout, but it was literally you had half a Dorito side and then a snake side. The other side of the field was the same thing, just flipped. So
I think it's pretty cool.
I do too. I would like to I would like to see that more. I would like to see that at the lower levels, because you see so much where someone is a dedicated Snake player and a dedicated Dorito player, and you still have that in this, because obviously whatever side Snake is first, that's where you would send your Snake player, and whatever side is Dorito first, that's where you send your. But I think it shows that people need to be able to play a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it is. Like, you don't have to be a Snake pro by any means, but if you get past that 50 Dorito, you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to play Snake a little bit here, or vice versa. I don't know. To me, it's neat as well. I think it was a good idea.
Most games were won by the time they got to the 50 anyways.
Yes.
So
yes. Now I was going to ask about somebody else. What about NRG Elite taking fourth? Does that?
I've been watching them play almost all their events just because of who they are. I know a lot of those guys, and it is really good to see them do as well as they did. I definitely thought it would take a little bit more time if they got out where they are, but for blind layouts, this helps teams like that. Not saying they can't shoot 2 pallets of paint. I'm sure they can, but they definitely don't get the breaks that Dynasty and X Factor and those guys get. So when they go to these blind events, I feel like if every event from here on out was blind, you would see smaller teams like ML Kings, NRG Elite. Those teams do better than not always better, but they would do a lot better than they typically do versus teams who can play on that layout 3, 4, 5 days a week and shoot 1 million fucking cases of paint on it. I definitely feel like blind layouts always, and we talked about this before, always give the advantage to the smaller teams.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for literally 2 years. That was one of our early episodes, was
100%.
Strictly blind layouts. And I don't think our opinion will ever change on that. That to me has made the most sense. Now, after the second event, this puts the rankings as Impact in first, Damage in second, Heat in third, and San Diego Dynasty in fourth.
Yeah.
But we're all within 25 points.
But they're close points.
They're very close. Yeah. And even the fifth place team is Aftermath, actually, believe it or not. I guess, they did pretty well at the first event. It came middle of the pack this one, so that makes sense. But those top 4 teams, there's literally less than 30 point spread. It's 28. So it is early, but how many more events are there? 2, 3? It's not more than 3. Yeah. Is it 2 more majors and 1 more minor?
Chicago, there's like 4 technically.
Okay.
So they probably won't play Chicago because I don't think that's a major. I don't think they'll probably go to Philly because Philly's a major. They'll probably go to the Golden State Open because that's going to be in their backyard, right? And they'll obviously play World Cup. So there should be 4 events: Chicago, Philly, California, and what you call it. That's if there's California. There should be. There was California last year.
Here I found it. So there's Philly is June. Sacramento is August 5th and 7th. 5th and 7th. I'm sorry. Then Chicago is 9th through the 11th, and World Cup 10th through the 13th.
So they'll probably play. Dynasty will probably play all of them. Honestly,
yeah.
But they'll probably go for sure. They'll play San Diego. They'll play Philly. And they'll play Cup. Like if they have to miss one, they're probably going to miss Chicago. That's where they're going to miss it.
Can they miss those, even though those are majors?
Yeah, like you only have to play 1 minor.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think for the pros, they take your top 4 scores.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now I'm going to go back to the other question I sent you. Now that we got to cover that, because I won't say that Damage surprised me winning this, but I will say, like you said, I asked you the question.
Damage has been fucking terrible for a long time with a really good roster.
Yeah.
So also, I don't understand what was going on with Keith Brown. He didn't get a lot of spins.
No, usually he did not.
The number 1 killer on that team, and he was sitting. I'm not sure if he was injured or something, but I was watching him a lot, and he was not getting his spins.
I thought I saw, and now granted, this is one of the million Facebook groups, so I couldn't tell you which one it was or how accurate the information is. But someone posted the same thing, and somebody said it was due to an injury, but they didn't say what the injury was. So take that for what it is. I mean, that could just be some kid saying, "Oh yeah, he's," you know what I mean, like he's hurt. But it had a decent amount of comments on it, and I saw it, I want to say last Saturday or Sunday. So I had wondered the same thing. I didn't realize he's only 29. I thought he was older than that. But yeah, so back to the question I initially asked you in the pre-recording of this. How do you feel about the Soldier City Shootout? I think is what they're calling it for the CPXL.
Dirty South.
Fuck, I clicked the wrong damn one. Jesus Christ.
Clown. This guy's a clown.
Damn it.
My co-host over here is a clown.
I know, right?
I got you, dude. I'm doing this with no information in front of me.
Damn it.
The Dirty South Open, I believe it's called.
You're probably you are right. Unless there is no. Yeah, damn it! I scrolled too far. Yeah, Dirty South Classic. The next one is the Soldier City Shootout.
Yes.
Fuck, that's the wrong But how are you feeling about that after coaching on this layout? I would say coaching exclusively.
We got a lot more to learn on this layout. I threw a whole bunch of different game plans together this week. We played a little bit all over the place just to see what kind of works and what doesn't. We'll get a lot better, more spins Saturday with Kyle over here. So he'll be, he'll be one of the main starters. So it'll be get the guys in a little bit more locked in. I think both teams, Project X and them, need to work on survivability. I think they were dying out of it. Your head is completely cut off right now. Whatever you're
Sorry,
doing.
I'm looking at more information. Keep rolling.
Both the teams need to severely work on survival rate in bunkers. So, and when me and Weston actually just talked about this, and he was kind of feeling shaky about the lineup coming into this event. And I'm like, man, you're one of that team's dominant players. Like, you have to stay alive. And he's stuck in the kind of the old school mentality to where like next man up, like run down the field, get a kill, or dunk a guy, and like next guy flies on the field with him. But new paintball can't always be played that way. There are points in X-Ball that can definitely be played that way. Like, you know what I mean? As you've seen this weekend, the Lone Star Open, there was points that lasted 10, 15 seconds. There's tons of shit like that. But that field, and definitely you can play kind of aggressive on it, and also you can play very defensive on it. So usually fields are a very defensive field or a very aggressive field. There is no in between. This field you can actually do both pretty well on. So and playing defensive against that on that field, you can actually shut down the aggressive team very easily as long as everybody's shots are where they need to be at. So I was talking to him about that this week, and I'm like, you got to kind of, these guys are going to need you for a leadership role. You have to stay alive on the field. They need communication. A lot of these guys are very, very young. There's multiple beginner guys in that roster who've been playing for a little bit, but X-Ball events they don't have under their belt right now. So they need communication. They need survivability in the back. Like, you're the guy who needs to be joysticking people. You know what I mean? Yep. Especially him on that island. He's an island on Dorito side.
Oh, yeah.
Typically. You don't always, feel like most guys think about Dorito side is where all the action is. You go down there, you blow holes on people, and you bust them up. And then if you get clipped, a guy comes right behind you, right down the Dorito side, and then comes flying down it. And it can still be that way, but on this field, I don't feel like it's going to be played that way. So I definitely feel that the strongest players should be on the Dorito side, roughly, and they need to be surviving on an island over there by themselves, communicating a lot, and doing what they need to be doing. So I definitely feel like this layout plays a little bit odd to where the Dorito side typically plays.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I like what you said about like not necessarily running, you know what I mean? On this layout and paintball now in general, where someone just can't run down. Teams now are so easy to just like sit down and lock something up. If they get down a body, like they make whatever their game plan is, so-and-so is supposed to do something or something's supposed to happen. If that player dies or if that doesn't happen, and I guess it's smart, probably should have been done 10 years prior to when it started, but everyone just sits down and almost creates the game plan on the fly where they'll lock up a zone, they'll get a kill, and then figure it out from there, which probably has always been the right way to play the game. But 15 years ago, people were like, oh, I can just out gunfight this dude. I'm going to shoot him in the head and I'll shoot one more guy in the head. And then it's a 3-on-4 and my team will win 80% of the time. So it's like, you're just playing the odds. But now that does not happen, especially on this layout. I saw a lot of comebacks, at least against us. And it could have been the way we were playing it in practice where our guys were getting up, 4-on-2, 5-on-3 or whatever it was. And then it's like one dude runs down. The second guy, like someone tries to make a play at a bad time and someone else makes a play. And then it's a 3-on-3 and you pitched your advantage away. And now it's like a fresh point again.
Now you've lost your front bodies and now those guys can get into front positions. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
It was,
that's how it's going to be played.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now you shared something on your Facebook page from Free Flow. And I think we've talked about this before. And it's the, he's talking about like 90% of, I should have pulled up the quote, but stories bring up teammates are the stuff off the field versus what's on the field. Yeah,
basically he says that when he thinks about past times and memories, it's 90%. It's about the traveling to the events, the hotels, the friends, the hanging out, the dinners, the the travel difficulties, the things you've done along the way. And it's only typically a 10% about the game plans or what happened on the field and certain problems, certain things. So, and I can definitely agree with that, I have a lot more stories about going to events, what happened at the events, what like the hotel stays, and just more than more stuff like that than, oh yeah, this is that time we went down there and shot 3 guys, dumped this dude. Do I have all those memories? Yes. Do we talk about those all the time? Not always. Usually it's about like, do you remember that one time we stayed at this hotel and we got kicked out because this, or one time we stayed at this hotel and it was so nasty because we had, there's definitely way more memories like that than there is vice versa. You know what I mean? So I had to share that because I felt that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like I read it, I didn't share it. I read it and then I sat there and I thought, and I was like, is that true? Like, I'm just kind of curious. And I was like, sitting there, I was thinking, we got kicked out of this hotel. I was like, we placed third in this tournament. I was like, I can remember one play from that tournament, but I remember everything that happened beforehand. And then like the minute I like placed in my first tournament, like I don't remember the actual
sleeping
event.
in a tent next to a train that went by in the middle of the night. You thought,
yes, it was all those things. Then I sit there and I look around and like the great memories. Like maybe I wish I remembered more on the field, but at this point I don't really care because we do a lot off field. But it's like I sit there and I see your brother, I see Kankan, I see you, I see Jamie, and I'm like, these are the same group of, for the most part, same core people I've known for the better part of 15 years. And I'm like, I have memories winning tournaments with every single one of them, placing in tournaments, coming dead last in tournaments. But I think of all the shit that happened outside, and I was like, I was gonna share it, and then I saw you share it, and I was like, no, I can't let him think I saw that. Like, I didn't want you to be like, no, he shared it, I shared it first. Like, I can't do that. So I'm gonna wait about a week or two, and then I'll share it. But but I don't know. It kind of hit me the same way I know it hit you, and I was just, I don't know. I think some of the younger players are getting that now, like, and the ones that are listening, just those will be the stuff you remember, like literally in 15 years from now when you sit back and you're telling me and Junior a story and whatever, we'll be like, oh yeah, we've been there, done that, and it's fucking awesome that everybody gets to still do it. Like it is probably the best part of paintball. Like that whole sleeping with the train, that was the fucking, you say that was the coldest paintball event I was ever at until this January at that ICPL. That is, I don't know if I'll ever play a cold paintball event that much, or I won't volunteer to sleep outside if I realize the weather's going to be fucking cold. But I didn't have, those were really my only topics. I don't know if you had anything. I didn't really have much. This week's been a fucking busy motherfucker.
Shit show, huh?
Oh, it's been a thing. Just trying to see.
There.
What's up? Did you lose me?
No, yeah, I lost you for like 5 seconds. Well, you're good now.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's right. Your connection just dropped red.
Oh, well, yeah. I probably when I started fucking Google searching. I was going to check PB Nation, do a quick run through, make sure I didn't miss any news that came out.
How about those carbon masks?
I fucking like them. They're ugly. They are ugly, but boy, are they comfortable.
Yeah. Because I gave my review on the other day. I was asked, now that you've seen them and now that you've worn them, what's your thoughts on them?
They're fucking ugly. It's one of the ugliest masks around. I actually think the push masks are ugly too. Some people are going to disagree. Yeah. But to me, they're both like on the same ugly level. I know. Yeah. But I think like there's a lot of masks I think are ugly. And then there's masks that I like that people wouldn't like. I actually like the Sly Profits. I think those are good looking masks.
Those are fucking those might be the worst looking mask I've ever seen.
I wanted a pair so bad, but I also wanted a pair so bad because I wanted the dual strap back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, I would wear one of those for like, if I got a mask that I was like, I'm just going to have this for like 10-man or mech events or scenario events, I would totally get that mask. Like, hands down, even though I mean, it'd be good anywhere, but I just feel like that mask is going to shine off a speedball field because it's kind of like subdued. Granted, the one we hold is like it's like a smoke almost.
Oh, you mean like not the one like Ken got?
Oh, no.
I didn't. White.
No,
like
I didn't see
bright white.
No, I saw what's his face's.
Well, guess what? Ken had it for about 13.4 seconds, and he sold it for $40 less than he bought it for. Said he doesn't like it. I was like, I like the mask a lot. First of all, when he got that, I'm like, dude, I told you guys about white gear. You don't buy white hoppers, white masks. You don't buy white shit. He's like, nobody sees that. I'm like, no, you 1000%. You laying around a bunker, black, blue, red, yellow, and a giant white mask laying around a bunker. That's the first thing you see. A black mask typically blends in, and I think the guys missed this. The backdrop behind you is typically woods or net. and it's gray or black. When you lean around a bunker, a lot of times your dark shit blends in with a dark background and you lose it. Yep. So the guys can't see it, or you can obviously see it, but if you're not looking in that general area, you can lean out of a bunker slowly and shoot somebody, especially from a snake. Even today, I missed guys all the time, like leaning out of a snake and shooting over at me. And like, thank God they're fucking terrible, but they'll miss. I go, what the fuck? I look back over. I'm like, dude, that guy's been looking at me for like 5 seconds. I had no clue. Or I'll notice I'll be shooting down the wire and I'll like look back across, and then I notice how long has this guy been sitting here? And I did not see him because I can only see the side of his mask, which is black, which blends in with the net or the woods. You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus.
I'm one to talk. I always like my bright colors, but I agree. I've always been like, I stick out like a sore fucking thumb because I've run lime green loaders, but I always got it because it was cheaper. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck what color it is. That was always I was like, oh, lime green's $40 cheaper. Cool. I'm gonna save $40 fucking dollars. But the flex I did because I got that dark camo or whatever they did.
Yes, that's darker. Like that'd be okay. But the white one, and Trip has the white urban camos. Yeah. And I said that's gonna stain. He said, no, it won't. I said, that's gonna stain. I'm telling you that it will stain. Took it to the event. Guess what? The SPL, they shot pink paint. Fuck that mask all up. Yep. Brand new flex. Just torched that bitch pink.
I was looking over my shoulder. I don't know where my HB frames are, but those ones I got from Ben Nutting in 2007, maybe 2008. They were minty. And we went and played a GFOA and they shot orange JT paint. And as a first tournament I won. I don't remember the shit on the field, but I remember getting my fucking lens stained because I have a picture on my Facebook page where I got gogged. And it was like, I was wanting to clean it so bad, but I was like, we're in a tournament. I don't have time to take the lens out, do the whole flex cleaning thing. And there's still like a stripe of orange paint, like across my left eye, I believe. And I'm like, it drives me nuts. But
I don't know why they still use pink paint. Like I've never understood that. I don't know why they do that. It made me so fucking mad. And everybody knows pink paint stains. Doesn't matter who makes it. Pink paint fucking. You know what? Now that I say that, the ICPL pink, I don't think that stained our shit really.
It stained my arm pads, but my arm pads I don't give a fuck about anyway. But like it didn't get my jersey.
Yeah. I mean, we had gray jerseys, like they definitely should do those, and all that came off. Now I think about it.
Maybe it's
other than that, everything of pink is always fucking stained. You know
and like I said, I say shitty. That's probably not the right word. Certain companies' oranges stained back in the day. Like I said, the JT, it was a blue ball, and it was that JT. Whoever made it, I'm sure somebody else made it. You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I think it's RPS actually.
Yeah, they would always give us that for a placing in the GFOAs. And I was always like, and your dad hated us using it. That was the only time he ever made us spray down bunkers because it would literally stain the fucking everything. And we took those to my friend Grant's house, and he was like, go shoot that there. So we shot up his bunkers, and it stained the fuck out of them.
God. But I remember Ultra, this is what we talked about paint before, but Ultra Evil, I haven't seen that in forever. And they had it at the ICPL. It was a white ball with this nasty orange paint. And it was so fragile, only the adrenaline guns could shoot it.
Yeah. And
that's the one they shot like 4 of us off the break, like from corner to corner on the Mounds field. They were hitting us like the elbow pads and the legs, and they were all breaking. I'm like, how do they get breaks across the entire field?
That was the very first match we played?
Yeah. I'm like, this paint is so fucking fragile. And they were the only guys shooting it because nobody else could shoot it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that makes sense. They're all shooting the adrenaline luxes and shit. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why.
What was your reaction that very first point of the ICBL? When
I'm like, I'm running out, and I don't have a huge run. I went to like the 200 or something. I ran out, and I look back, and 4 of you guys are walking off.
Not
like,
me.
Well, technically you. It should have been you.
Yeah, technically me, but I kneeled down on that motherfucker.
Yeah, you would have been 5, I think. I leaned back, and I'm like, our first legit pro team we're playing against, and they shot 4 of you guys in the break. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they did what we just talked about. They literally ran into our guns. Shane shot like 1 or 2 of them instantly. Yeah. Other 2 guys came down Doritos side. I clipped 2 of those like back to back. I'm like, we're on a 6v6 right now somehow randomly. I'm like, okay. But that was the worst feeling in the world, is to get to your bunker, turn around, and 4 of your guys are walking through like, all right, this is about to be a great weekend. I can't wait. I'm so glad we traveled down here to get our shit pushed in all weekend.
I don't know which one of our teammates it was at this point, but they saw me get shot in the leg and they were like, Mike, you're out. And I go, I kneeled down right on that motherfucker. They go, okay. And just walk back to the dead box. I was like, I'm not getting out on this first point. Not fucking happening.
Yeah. That was the Truesdale's thing. He got clipped like the first 2 games in a row. Clock. And at the third point, I'm like, hey, dude, you gonna make it to a fucking mound and stay alive? He's like, I don't fucking stand, man. I'm like, well, yeah, you're playing against dudes who probably fucking know the exact drop off on these fucking dirt piles. I'm like, they know this way too well.
I was not a fan of that mound
prior to that and shot that and played that fucking field. I'm like, these motherfuckers know that way too well to be a brand new team.
That's the only thing. I mean, I enjoyed the event and I would 1000% do it again. Not on the mounds. Like the mounds was my least, just because of, I mean, granted, it could be like that on every field. Like they don't move, so it is what it is. But
yeah, I like the hyperball field was dope.
Yeah, it was super good. And the what were they calling the other one? The hybrid field.
Yeah, the hybrid. Yeah,
yeah, that was cool too. I thought that was.
See, I really liked the one at the when the CFOA comes this year. We'll have to do it. It's a 10-man CFOA. It's like 2-2-2 or something like that. I think it's like 6 games. It's like 2 on the mounds field, 2 on the hyperball field, and 2 on the woods ball field.
Yeah,
the woods ball field's wild. It's huge.
Oh, I bet.
It's so dope. You're hiding behind like logs and trees. I'm like, all right, that was made me like think about necking. I'm like, this shit is fun as fuck. I'm like definitely is a lot more less stress.
Oh yeah, I had so much fun.
I definitely want to plan a big game this year sometime.
Yeah,
I see these guys keep going to all these other ones, but I don't want to go to one with like only like 200 or 300 people there. I want to go to one that has like 6, 7, 8, 1,000 people. I want to go to the big ones because that brings back so many good memories going to these events and just beating the piss out of the rec ball players.
This one had about 200, so it's probably a little smaller than what you want. But the one, is that like Gator Paintball in Tampa? Me, Gordon, Shane, and your brother did it. It was really good. That's the first one I'd ever been to that had tanks. And I know
Jamie and then been going to that Battlefield
Orlando.
Yeah, they said that's really good. They said the field, that's the best field they've ever, like Jamie says, like he's a big rec guy now.
Yeah.
He says that's the best field he's played at for rec. And I guess they typically get a pretty good turnout.
I wonder if that used to be called Paintball Orlando. I'll have to ask him. Because there was a place in Orlando that I
have a field down there somewhere.
Who?
Wayne Dullock. Remember Wayne Dullock? Like had the Wayne's World, like 1,000 on 1,000 and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was more on the like Gulf Coast side, but I could be incorrect.
I can't remember where it was.
But that
they used to have Wayne's World like finale and stuff like that, which was like 1,000 on 1,000 and stuff.
That the place in Florida or in Tampa is like Gator Paintball, Gator Extreme. They do like a finale, kind of like Low Country used to do, but again, it's around 200-ish, which I mean, I enjoyed it. It was like a good number where there was fighting nonstop because the field it was big, but not like too big. Like it was a good size for that amount of people.
Yeah.
But that's the one. I have to find you the fucking video. This dude comes rolling around with a tank, and we didn't have like anything to shoot it with. It was me, your brother, Gordon, and Shane. And I didn't know where to go. And I was like, oh, that motherfucker didn't see me. Well, he shoots your brother, he shoots Gordon, and he like rolls down this trail. And I tucked in between like 2 pallets. And I'm like, I hear it coming down the trail. And I'm like, I'm going to be good. He didn't see me come here. And he pulls right up. And the guy in the passenger seat just like points right at me. And the dude in the turret spins and looked at me. And I was just like, I'm dead because you're really fucking close. And you could shoot the fucking dog piss out of me. And he just kind of like shook his gun. Like, you better go. And I'm like, fair, sir. I will graciously leave. Thank you for not blowing me to pieces. I will check in and come back out.
God.
That's also, I don't know if we've told the story here, but Shane had an Apex barrel and he was shooting people so fucking far, literally like, God, it had to be damn near 100 feet. And he was accurate as fuck. And it would like, he had it where the paintball would like go real low to the ground and skim and up. So it was like getting the distance.
Go and use the flatline barrels on the Tippmann 98 on that. We had those motherfuckers dialed in. We would have all those badass cockers and Timmy's back in the day. We went to that. We always go to Trick or Time Paintball 2 times a year. We'd take those fucking flat lines with it's not reactive. What's the
response? Maybe
response.
Yep.
No, it wasn't response. I mean, it was. It's the one that they used the air tube.
I think that's response, but I could be incorrect too.
Yeah, we used to turn those up. You could dial those in, and we'd hold them, and they would shoot about. We could do them 20 if you wanted to. We had them about 12 to 13, and we would just dial the barrel in because you have to keep moving the barrel, adjust it. Once you get it locked in, we get it like pinned in, and we just go, and you'd watch them all like float. It would float like a football field.
And it's fucking wild how far they go.
God, it is insane. I think it goes down and back spins the ball.
Yeah.
It just carries off the wind.
If you look in the barrels, you can see like, I guess it's a little piece of rubber or like a tail or something. I don't know what it is. And it just like kind of pushes the ball a little bit. At least that's how the Apex on Shane's head, but he was sitting there and like me and your brother would try to shoot at these guys and they were just too far away. And Shane would go, I got it. And he turned the fucking barrel and literally like, when I say he killed 15, 20 people coming around this fucking corner, he was just like, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And me and your brother are just standing there going, I mean, this is fine. Like we're not going to kill anybody, but if anyone runs up, they're going to get fucking blown to pieces. And then it was just like, Shane goes, hey guys, I'm actually kind of bored here shooting people. Can we go somewhere else? We're like, yeah, that's fine. Let's fucking get in trouble somewhere else. Let's pick a fight.
Yeah.
Because that's always the funnest thing about the woods ball, just like trying to get into a like little skirmish.
I wish they would do that. We only played that one time at the Camp Blanding in Jacksonville. Do you remember that?
I did not go to that with you guys, but I know where it is. Every time I see it on a map.
God, that field was badass.
Yeah.
A full legit military sim base.
Yep.
That was like, it was downtown Afghanistan. It had concrete tunnels under the entire field. Yep. It had 4-story hotels. And dude, that was such a fucking dope place to play at.
Yeah.
And then Billy, I think, ran it, but he run some fucking trash ass paint. It was clear shell with gray fill, so it didn't break on the or didn't stain the things. I guess people left it so trashy, surprise, surprise, that it stained all the concrete up, and they left just boxes and shit everywhere. And the military was like, nah, you fucking clowns can't come back here. But we played that. That was, God, that was dope.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. Like I said,
that was like 700 and 700, something like that.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it was good.
The biggest I've ever done is probably 200 on 200, and that would be at Low Country. They used to do real big ones. It was fun. Like, I enjoyed every minute. I was like, this is cool. That was when I started out using a Tippmann 98 with a flat line. And then we got into one fight somewhere and I had my Ego 8 and this dude was fucking let him go through the woods, like uncapped ramping. And I was like, fuck this guy. So he shot me. I went back out and I got my Ego and I was like, this is much better. Now I can actually fucking get in a gunfight with this guy instead of getting out. He just shot too fast. I was like, I can't keep up with that. Like, and he was running around doing it to everybody. And me and I think Taylor Parker literally went and like, we'll get our real guns and we can play this game too. If you want to be a piece of shit. That's the same one. I think they would do helicopter drops. Yes. Like if you got it and you could like everyone holding onto the rope and this guy decided to like fly his helicopter to our spawn base. And just that big group of us were just like following around. When you drop that rope, there's 8 of you on that helicopter. There's literally 35 of us right here. Like we could do this. And they finally dropped that fucking rope. And I had never seen people get the shit shot out of it. They were shooting us, we were shooting them. They all got out, but I was like, you can never tell who shot who in this situation. Like this is just a clusterfuck. But it was dope. Like I definitely would like to do a woods ball thing, and that was probably one of the last ones I ever did.
Yep. Speaking of that, Rangel just sent me over the that free flow one in New York.
Yeah, that looked cool. I saw the layout for that.
Yeah, he just sent me. I said, "You want to go play?" I'm like,
should
maybe let me make sure it doesn't interfere with my other events.
You should. That'd be fucking like, sweet.
Yeah, I'm like
his June 6th event's gonna be badass.
Yes.
Or whatever. I mean, I'm assuming it's an event.
I didn't see that one. What is that one?
Chris put it out there. It's a Monday, but it's for D-Day or whatever. Is it an event or is it a drop?
It's probably gonna be a drop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a drop.
I was going back and forth. Last night I was like, it's an event, and then I was like, earlier today at work, I was like, it might just be like a big not a clothing drop, but he might be releasing some badass piece of gear.
I think I said like I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be some information leading to the next series that's coming out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. That was a good little topic we had there. Everyone needs to go play in the woods. Don't just play speedball. Play a lot of speedball, but then go play some fun stuff in the woods. It makes
it's about time for us to jump back in some rec.
Yeah.
You know, I said I like to do it once every other month. I like to jump in the rec.
Yeah.
But we definitely got to figure out the next dead date and then go out there and fucking get wild.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So, I can use my.
I like to go at Billy's and just beat the fucking piss out of those guys. But I see here sometimes they have 35, 40. Sometimes they have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we'll go down there and it'll be us.
Hoppers on Saturday. There's usually always 100 plus every weekend, every Saturday. You can guarantee there's gonna be 100 motherfuckers there stacked out waiting to go.
We'll have to be like, hey, can you let our 20 guys play against your 80?
But we go out there with net guns, so it's fun. Yeah. Like, you know, people are like, "Oh my god, man!" But I don't know. You hear the dude out there with minis, and the sign says no more than 10 a second here. I'm like, dude, you're fucking beating on fucking little rental players shooting 30 a second, you fucking clown.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're out here with net guns. Like, there's a couple of those dudes, I won't name them here, but all of our guys know exactly who they are that play on really bad. I'm like, you are playing on and cheating and you shooting a billion balls a second versus random ass rentals. I'm like, you play this field Saturday, every single Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, you have something mentally wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, this is bad.
It's fucking wild.
The last time, I'll leave the cast with this story. Last time I played those dudes, I've never played this field ever before. You probably haven't even seen it. Well, you might have seen. You played out there a few months ago.
Yeah,
it's that they call it the meth lab field. It has the meth lab trailer and the big castle in the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah.
Okay, one team starts behind the castle, one team starts way in front of the castle. Well, anyways, I'm looking at, we're like, let's say we're playing like 40 on 40, and we are, I would say 50, 60 yards from the castle. I'm like, all right, I'm looking at them, and these motherfuckers are about 20 yards from the castle. I'm like, oh, it's like attack and defend kind of thing. And they're like, no, the castle's in the middle. I'm like, that castle is not in the fucking middle to where they are. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no shot. So he's like, go. I take off full fucking dead sprint. I'm riding, son. I am literally about 10 yards from the castle. They are already on top of the fucking castle shooting our guys. God, and I'm like, dang. I said, that's physically impossible to get there before I did and be up top, already in the top level, shooting our guys in the top of the head. So anyways, I am up against the door, and there's like a 2-inch thing, a gap around the whole bottom of the castle so that your wood doesn't dry rot. Yeah. They are shooting the fuck out of my feet, and the refs are yelling, stop shooting under the boards. You can't shoot under. And these are starting to hurt. I'm like, motherfucker, because they're sticking the barrel on my foot and just blasting me. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm getting mad. I'm like, hey, you can't fucking shoot under the goddamn wood. So anyways, there's this big like quadruple stack of this 55-gallon barrels, like 4 of them like this sitting together in this block in the front door. It's meant for you to go and run around it. Well, as you would enter the entrance of the castle, it's like a maze. As soon as you go in, you have to go left. Yeah, you have to go left or right, and then you go into the corridor. You battle there. It's the same way on the backside. Then you go in the main corridor and go up the stairs. Well, anyways, they are already at my fucking door shooting out of it, and they're sitting like this on each side of the wall, shooting like this, cross. And I am up against the fucking wall, like their barrels are next to my fucking face, and they can't see me. And I know there's guys behind them shooting my feet. Well, anyways, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I know exactly who the 2 players are, the mag-fed fucking guys. I'm like, all right, motherfucker. So I lean over, and what I do is grab the kid's barrel right here in front of me, and I kick the fucking barrels over because I know the other guy's on the outside. He can't see me because the doorway's there, but he can't. I know where he is. He can't see me. So I grab the kid's barrel, or it's not a kid, it's an older guy. Grab his barrel, and I kick the fucking barrels in front of me, the big set of barrels, and it knocks into the other guy, and he like falls backwards, and I just fucking beam him and his buddy. And then I hold the barrel and come around the fucking turn and fucking beam him and his buddy. I'm like, what? When I get fucking shredded, because there's like literally like 10 motherfuckers at that front door. I get beat. And they walk by and they're like, dude, what the fuck? And they like, I was like, what? He's like, you knocked over the barrels. And I thought they were getting mad. And the guy, like, these dudes are like male sim fucking weirdos. Like, dude, that was fucking rad, dude. I'm like, oh my God, you fucking weirdos. I'm like,
he almost killed us all.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I kicked that fucking barrel and like hit the dude right in the fucking face. Like, imagine 4 55-gallon drums beaming you.
I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah, he leans like, what the fuck? He falls back. I'm like, just fucking melt his ass, and then grab the hold the kid's barrel with one arm, turn the corner, and stick him right in the mouth. I'm like, all right, we're all dead. I'll walk out now. Like, even if I didn't get shot, my fucking feet hurt from getting shot.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm surprised you didn't stick your gun underneath and just blindly shoot into that motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish it was hurting, man. I'm like,
I can imagine. He was right there.
Yeah, and the refs are screaming from the fucking sidelines. I mean, he's fucking. So then I walk over to the ref. I'm like, hey, man, where do these guys start at? He's like, oh, he started right here. I said, listen, there's probably not a fucking dude out here in this woods right now that's faster than I am. They were in top of the castle shooting us before we were 20 yards off the goddamn thing. He's like, oh, okay, so then we flip sides. And now we start at the proper distance away. I'm like, oh, how fucking fair. Start me at 20 meters away so I can run right inside and start shooting on top of him and they're coming in.
Yeah,
like, you fucking assholes.
I'm glad I was gonna say I'm glad I missed that. I'm actually not glad I missed that. I would have loved to have seen the fucking barrel barrel kick and barrel grab, I guess.
It was great. I'm telling you, this shit was fucking hilarious.
That's fucking awesome. That's a hell of a way to end. I like it. That was good. Good fun. So I'll take us out of here. Thanks for listening, watching, all that stuff. I don't check merch anymore. Who knows what's going on in there? If you didn't hear us this past Monday, so same week this came out, we were on the Center 50 podcast with PJ and Daniel. So you can check that out. Their intro in the beginning was super nice. I don't know if you've heard it yet. It's pretty dope. But yeah, so we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Later.